Hey guys, Steve Olin here. I told you guys a while back, if you're a follower or watching the channel, that I was going to get back to the forge, and it's taken me longer than I thought. I did get back to it about 10 days ago and tried to do some hand-hammered Damascus with 1084 and 15N20, and that was an epic failure. But today I'm going to just show you my process. I decided to get back at trying to make a decent pair of tongs and take my time to, now that I've learned a little bit. At the end of this, I'll show you some of the tongs I made a few years back, the first set I ever made out of a pair of rebar. But these will probably end up being a pair of wolf jaw tongs. Not doing any finished work on this first video, just going through the process of hammering out the main structure, the nib and the boss, and then the beginning part of the rein. And so I didn't take any measurements or mark my anvil with measurements or anything. I just eyeballed it. But I basically took about 3/4 of an inch on the end of that 5/8 round stock and put my first set down for the nib, and then went across to the far side of the anvil and started to define that area for the boss, bringing that down to about 5/16 of an inch, or about half the thickness of the 5/8 stock. Obviously this workpiece is cooling down here, and I'm just getting a little bit of a mark where I'm going to start that next set down to offset the rein, the opposite side, opposite direction of the boss from where the nib is. So now that I've got another heat here, I can get that offset in there and further define that boss area. It ended up a little bit taller than what I wanted, and I'm going to try to compact that and round it out a little bit more as we go along. I should have said from the beginning, I'm a total amateur. This is not meant to be a tutorial. I was just trying to show that a regular guy can set out to do something for the first time, and if you take your time, you can knock it out. Just took another heat and going back through the first set down, the nib area, and squaring it up a little bit, and back across the anvil to further draw out that boss area. It's still a little bit thicker than what I want it to be. Here, just revisiting that third set down or offset, or I'm not positive on all my terminology, guys, but just trying to further define that boss area. Here I'll grab another heat and then try to just draw out the top section of the rein just below the boss, and keep things straight and make sure I got the right angles as I go along. And here I'm trying to further compact that boss area, round it out a little bit. Still ended up a little bit taller than I wanted it to, or had originally visualized it, but it's going to work out okay. So I'm not real good at holding work pieces in front of the camera for good visibility. I apologize, but I was just trying to show you the work I've done here. You can see that the inside edge of the nib is kind of lined up with the inside edge of what will be the rein. So they're on opposite sides of the boss, but try to make sure that boss was pushed over enough where those two planes lined up. I'm just repeating the process on the other end of the bar. You can see at the back of my left hand, there's the nib I just hammered out, and we're starting on the opposite side of the tong now. In between heats and working on the tongs, I also made a punch. First time ever trying to punch my steel. In the past, when I've made tongs, when I first started out, I just used my drill press or even a hand drill at one time and drilled out the holes for my rivets. But I decided to make a punch and try to punch the holes, so that's going to be here at the end of the video as well. But I actually made the punch during the process of making the tongs, just kind of in between. Just made it out of a big 3/4 inch bolt that I had that I found on a railroad track somewhere or something, and tried to harden the end of it, quenched it. And here I am. This pair of tongs I'm using is the first pair of tongs I was going to show you that I made out of a set of rebar about 4 or 5 years ago. I keep saying a set of rebar, pieces of rebar. But so I'm told when you use that punch, hit it once and then take it out, and so it doesn't, so you don't suck up your heat or lose your heat and whatever. I don't know. But I'm trying to follow what I've seen other folks do in their YouTube videos. It's the first time I'm actually holding a workpiece between my legs as well. So learned some stuff on this project. But I got the holes punched. My punch was a little bit smaller than my stock that I'm using for my rivets. So here, after punching out the hole, I just took a little piece of the round stock that I'm going to use for my rivets and drove it through the hole to drift it out a little. And then the process was repeated for the other end. And I'm going to measure from the center of each hole, find the middle point, and cut the stock in half to draw out the reins on either end. I probably have more material than I need, but we'll see how that goes. And here's a quick look at the first set of tongs I ever made. 2 pieces of rebar, just kind of hammered out a flat spot and got them barely shaped. But I've been using them for 4 or 5 years and have used them on several projects. That's what I use to hold the punch today, to work on this new set of tongs. And then I got a bunch of tongs over here that I made out of some tong blanks I ordered from somebody on eBay, and none of them came out very good. So this is definitely a step up for me as far as my ability to make tongs. But I'm having a good time learning and enjoying being back at the forge. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll put together another quick video of me drawing out the reins and putting some finishing touches on those tongs. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.